All right, guys, welcome back to another Victoria Events with Caleb Shaw. It is Monday, January 24th. We got a full guest panel, so let's just get right after it. Guys, I'm already excited. I'm getting ahead of myself, but please introduce yourselves if you don't mind.
Well, my name is Lisha Edwards, and I'm with Cody Edwards Farmers Insurance, and today we are talking about an event with the Northside Rotary Club of Victoria.
Outstanding, and I've seen you all over town, but for those who don't know you, if you wouldn't mind, please introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Casey Housworth with Budget Blinds UPS store, and I'm representing Northside Rotary here in town for our Vegas night that's coming up.
Good deal. Well, before we get into Vegas night, because I do want to hear all the details about it, I want to know a little bit more about Northside Rotary. I know this is a great organization. I know you guys do awesome things in town, but I don't know fully what all you do and kind of what the mission is and all of that. So I wanted to take this time to kind of get you guys to explain to me a little bit of Northside Rotary and why it's important to the community.
Okay.
All right, Northside Rotary, we're a service organization here in town. So we do a lot of service events for local and national and international. So we do Early Act First Night. We try to represent the community and try to do different things to help people here in town.
And so a lot of these things are fundraisers that you guys do where you come together, you try to give people a good time in the community,
but
it goes back into the community. Are there any certain missions or the Rotary that hey, this is our thing? Or is it just you look for a need in the community and just see if you can fit it?
We look for a need, but our thing is an Early Act First Night, which is in the elementary schools, and that helps kids build virtues, characteristics, and
is
help
that the
them
night
grow.
thing where they okay, all right.
Yes.
See,
The
I don't
night
have
ceremonies,
kids.
yes.
All right. Well, I see those all over town, and I know they mean a lot to the kids to get those awards, and it teaches great characteristics and
and the
things.
virtues, and so it's a big part of Northside. All three of our Rotary clubs here in town, but we take pride in it, and it's something that we're proud to be a part of.
So when you say there's three in town, do we have gang rivalry going on here where you can't go to a certain side of town, or that Rotary club will come get you, anything like that?
We support each other.
Well, good.
So we're good.
I have PD coming on next, and if there's game night TV, I feel obligated to report it.
We don't want to get arrested or anything.
Okay,
so we're good.
Good to go. Well, we got Vegas night coming up. I probably should stay away from that because I never have good luck. But
it's fun because it's like fake money.
Well, tell me all about it then. Can I cheat just a little bit?
Sure,
For sure. Talk to me about Vegas night. This is the 12th annual, it looks like.
Yes, actually, it's been going on for 14 years, but we, of course, didn't have it last year. Everybody is very excited and ready to go again. And there was another year in the past that they skipped, but it has been a big success for the Northside Rotary Club, and it's super fun. So the thing I think that sets it apart from most fundraisers is that we have a lot
fun?
of yes, it's so
Sorry,
much
that
fun.
was there. I had to take that one.
No, I mean it really is. So many fundraisers that occur in town are great, and they're for such worthwhile organizations and causes. But you go and you have dinner, and you have some silent auction items and some live auction items, and it's all great stuff. We go all the time and support the community. However, Vegas night is a good time. I mean, it's just so much fun. I have never had anybody that we've invited, because I've been to every single one of them. My husband Cody helped start the very first one, so of course I get drug along.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
And bring your friends and bring everybody with a little cash in their pocket. And never have I ever invited somebody or taken them that they didn't want to come back the next year and then bring their own friends. So it's a really, really good time.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, can you break it down a little bit for me?
Sure,
and kind of tell me, how people can get in, what,
Absolutely.
loosely how the night's going to go and stuff?
Sure. So the event is this coming Saturday on the 29th of January. It starts at 6 p.m. out at Club Westerner, which is a really, really fun, to me it's just a fun venue.
Yes, ma'am.
And at 6 o'clock, it's kind of important to get there around that time, because that's when dinner is served, between 6 and 7, and then all the gaming starts at 7.
Okay.
So your $50 ticket that you can purchase to get in, you can get those at our office, which is on John Stockbauer, 3606 John Stockbauer, which is Cody Edwards Farmers Insurance. That ticket will get you your dinner, beer and wine all evening, or setups like sodas and things like that, and we'll get you your chips to play. So there will be craps tables, blackjack tables, and Texas Hold'em. Is that it? I think that's
I believe
the
that's
three.
it. Yeah.
But it's
solid right out the gate.
It's a room full
roulette
of
too.
Oh, and roulette. That's right. There's
That's
roulette.
more my, just limit my choices because I don't understand these things. So black, red, I can do a little better there usually.
Yeah. But it's a room full of tables to play on, and the gaming happens between 7 and 10. And the way it works is that you're given so many chips, but obviously if you run out, like you're saying you might,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I
Quickly,
do, and I almost do immediately as well, we will sell more throughout the night, and that's where the fundraising part comes in. And so it's super fun, and once you finish with the games and you've won all your money, you can turn those in for tickets, and there's some really, really great prizes that can be won with your tickets.
That's awesome.
People sometimes walk away with furniture, all kinds of gift baskets with gift cards in them for restaurants and rounds of golf. It's really, really fun, and people enjoy it. They really do.
And do a lot of the prizes come from the community as far as donations?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
stuff? Great.
Yes.
So I'm guessing you guys have some sponsors behind you and some people that have helped with
absolutely,
this
yes.
and all that.
Yes,
Wonderful.
and year after year, some of our sponsors, you don't even have to call them. They're ready. Like, how come nobody's contacted me yet? Because they want to be a part of this. Because it's such a good, it's a good cause, and it's a fun night, and it gets their name out there too.
Yes, ma'am. No, I'm grateful to have organizations like you guys out here that are doing things because, even before I meet a lot of you guys, I see you all over the place doing things. And I think Victoria does a pretty dang good job of, volunteering and helping these organizations and trying to throw events that people will enjoy instead of the old voluntold, I got to go to this thing and it's going to suck and I don't want to go. And,
Yeah, no, this is super fun.
I appreciate the effort that goes into this to actually make it fun and make it enjoyable and more so to help others. And I didn't know until right now that night program and stuff was part of what you all did. And that's a huge thing in the community.
It really is.
And I know some of my agents that work up at the office, their kids with these, and that's a big deal to them.
Oh, they love it.
Yeah,
when those nights show up at school, oh my gosh, this is just the greatest
yeah,
thing.
and I'd never seen that until I got here to Victoria. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen other places, but I'd never seen it until I got here. And it does just have an impact. I mean, those kids are fired up when they win those awards, rightfully so.
It
and I
They
like
earn
the
them.
lessons being taught behind it. And right now, I would argue sometimes manners and customer service and things like that are a lost art. And so to see kids being taught those things, I'm all for it, And so, what am I forgetting? Is there anything that we haven't gone over? Any sponsors we need to? Anybody we need to touch on before we start wrapping this bad boy up?
Well, I would say, we have lots and lots of great sponsors from all over the
Probably
community.
too many to name.
But we are still taking sponsorships.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to get in touch with somebody with Northside Rotary, they can get in touch with Casey or myself or Cody or Gail Hode to talk about sponsorships or anybody that they know in the club. We'd be happy to let them sponsor a table at the, one of the gaming tables
Yes, ma'am.
or whatever. We hang their banners.
And with each sponsorship, you get tickets to come.
Oh, there you go.
So-
There you
Yes,
go.
yes,
no,
absolutely.
And also, I want to mention we have some great Rotarians that was on the committee. They've done a lot of hard work, and it takes a lot of work to put this together. So they've done a good job putting
Absolutely.
it together and getting it going. So
Yeah, no, that's great. How can people, what's the best way to reach out? What's the best way to find the information? I know I saw a lot of it on the Facebook page, the Victoria Northside Rotary, is that correct?
Huh?
you go
Northside
there.
Rotary.
And so is that the best place or?
The best one is to call Gail. It's
Okay.
361-572-6564.
Roger that.
Or you get tickets at Cody's Edwards Farmers Insurance.
Good deal, good
And,
deal.
or you can reach out on Facebook and also, if you ever want to become a member of Northside Rotary, reach out to one of us.
Yeah,
We
that's
love
a
new
good,
members.
I was going to ask you that. Is there a certain time that, like enrollment, or can you join at any time?
You can join anytime. We meet every Thursday at noon at
Okay.
the Victoria Country Club.
Roger that.
And it's a great networking event, and we love new members as well.
Good
So-
deal, good deal. Well, no, you guys, I see you all over, and I appreciate what you do, and I appreciate your mission. One more time, this is Saturday, January 29th.
This coming Saturday.
Yes, ma'am, 6 to 11 at Club Westerner, which is 1005 West Constitution. Anything else?
I would like to add that originally when this event first got started, all the proceeds were used to build the Challenged Athletes Complex on Vine Street. I don't know if you've ever seen
wow.
that. That was what, and once that was accomplished, obviously now the proceeds go to all kinds of charities and causes throughout our community, but mostly Early Acts First Night, but it goes to scholarships, it goes to teacher appreciation, nurse appreciation, things like that. But yeah, the Challenge Athlete Complex was a big thing that club in particular wanted to see completed. So that was what that originally was
job.
started with. Yeah,
What
so
a
it was
cool
great.
thing.
I know,
What
it was
a
really
cool
neat.
thing.
And I mean, every time I happen to drive by it, I'm like, that's so fun. I mean,
Yeah,
like we
that's
help
us.
do
That's
that.
us.
You
Yeah,
know?
no, there's pride in that, and that's awesome. And thank you guys for what you do in the community.
Absolutely.
I'm sincerely grateful. Guys, we will take a quick break and be right back with our next guest.
Since 1932, Wallach & Volk has been closing mortgages and doing it the right way. The reason why the Volks opened up a bank at the height of the Great Depression was because the bank needed to be opened at the height of the Great Depression. And it was good for the community at that time. A lot of the banks were going under. In order to keep that community sound and stable, it was something that they did. I think that says something about who Wallach & Volk was 85 years ago. And the only way you get to continue to do it is if you consistently do it great. And we plan on doing this for another 85 years.
All right, guys, we are back with our next guest. You have probably seen this gentleman out in the community. They do a great job on community outreach and being there, more so than when you just call 911. They are there from a community aspect ahead of time to always really try to build, bridges and just relationships with the community. And so, on that note, my friend, thank you so much for joining us. And if you wouldn't mind, please introduce yourself to the ones that don't know you by some weird chance.
Right. My name is John Turner. I'm with the Community Engagement Unit of the Victoria Police Department.
Yes, sir. And let me start with a big thank you to you guys, because you guys are engaged in the community. And I want to say that there's been very few events that I've gone to or just days that have gone by that I have not seen you all out in the public in some form or shape or fashion of trying to build relationships with the public. And so thank you for that, because right now nationwide, all that, there's not always the most positive vibe towards law enforcement, and I am overly for law enforcement. And so it does my heart well to see you guys out there and to see that despite what's going on in the world, you guys show up and you do your job and you set the bar and you go out into the community, and we're thankful. And so thank you for that.
I appreciate the support. And that's the one thing we have in Victoria. We have a very supportive community. I mean, this is an awesome place, and we try to get out, like you said, and do as much as we possibly can, build those bridges, build those relationships.
Yes, sir. And every time I've called and said, hey, do you guys want to come on and talk about something? Yes, we'll be there.
Absolutely.
And so we're so very grateful. And you guys have a neat program coming up, and I want to kind of go through this and see if you can break it down and teach me a little bit. It's this Law Enforcement Explorer program. Tell me about this.
Right, we're bringing it back. We had to shut it down for a little while because of the COVID, but this year we're bringing it back. It's a career exploration program for youth 14 to 18 years old who are interested in a career in law enforcement. So this gives them a foot in the door. They can get some education and some hands-on experience.
Can we kind of walk me through, and again, I know it's a whole program, but can you kind of surface level, like, when you say exposure, are you guys, are they spending time with you all or how does this kind of go, or what is this? I just don't know much about it, forgive my ignorance.
Well, you'll have to forgive my ignorance too, because this is my first year doing it, so there's a little bit of a learning curve on my end too.
Why not just push you right into the deep end on this and tie some ankle weights on and let's get going?
That's how we do it. That's how we do
sir.
it. But yes, I mean, this is similar to a law enforcement career. These kids have to go through a selection process. It's not like you sign an application and just show up. We'll take the first or the best 20 candidates. They've got to go through a review board. They've got to pass the physical agility test, and they've got to go through a criminal background check.
Wow.
So we do a little research on the kids before we allow them to participate in the program.
Random question on this is do you all, is this a program that they pay to go through, or are they sponsored by the community, or kind of how does that work? Or, I know they apply to it. How does it work?
They're sponsored through the Police Foundation, Victoria Police Foundation. So
Good
yeah,
deal.
they don't have to pay anything for it.
Wow, that's outstanding. And I think it's even more important, for those age ranges that you talk about, because a lot of ones, those are those are most vulnerable to, they're caught in kind of the crossfire between they're almost adults but not yet, and it's just a weird time when you're 14 to 18 to try to figure things out, and I think that's an excellent time though to show them that a lot of maybe the stereotypes and some of the negative info that they heard is just not true, know, and so spectacular. What are some of the highlights of it, or some of maybe things that we can touch on a little bit that might bring some people out?
Well, we do, like I said, it's basically your law enforcement career. You're going to be learning the same things that officers do. We're going to start out with the penal code, the laws we have to enforce, the code of criminal procedure, how we enforce those laws, where we get our authority to enforce, the transportation code, traffic law. What have we got? Traffic stops, misdemeanor stops, and felony stops. So these kids are actually going to be engaging in scenario-based training. where they're
Outstanding.
going to be doing the traffic stops, building searches, things of that nature.
Side note, I was really glad you guys made an educational video on the flashing light over there by the college.
Oh, yeah.
Can't tell you how many times I've been stuck behind cars at that thing's flashing. There's no people, and they sit through that entire thing until it turns off because nobody understands that it's now
Oh, yeah.
flashing and you can go. And so
Right.
I know we're talking apples and oranges here, but I appreciate you making that video. That helped me out a lot. I get stuck behind those
We got to
people
get that
often.
information out to folks.
Well, I'll be honest. It's kind of surprised me. It seems like everybody forgot driver's ed, and when the power goes out or something, and I watch these people at four-way, intersections, and it's chaos.
Oh,
and I mean, it's the blind leading the blind through there, and it's bumper cars basically,
Yes.
and I know that we're apples and oranges, but this ties together in the sense of there's a lot more going on than what people, especially young people, probably think when you guys intercept a vehicle, when you pull in behind it, when you run, all the different things. It's like you talked about the penal code. Why did you stop them? How do you approach this? All those type of things. And so,
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of moving parts in a traffic stop. Yes, it's one single traffic stop, but there's a lot of stuff going on.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, I think that's spectacular. What am I missing on this thing?
Well, I don't know. It's ages 14 to 18.
Okay.
We're going to have an open house for those that are interested and have questions. That'll be on the 27th, January 27th, from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Community Center Dome.
Okay, roger that. Now, in the meantime, if they want to scope this out, can they go to the Facebook page?
They can go to our Facebook page. They can go to our website. They can call us at the Community Engagement Office, 485-3808. Or they can send us an email at policeceu@victoriatx.gov.
Gotcha. And they can also use those same contact points to say if they had some event for their company, or they want you guys to swing by for
Sure.
something or be a part of something. They can
Right.
reach out to those same things and get you guys and have you come over, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Good deal. And so, well, man, this is awesome. Law Enforcement Explorer Program, open house. You guys gonna have some snacks and stuff up there?
We're going to have some snacks.
Good. All right. Well, then, maybe I should have led with the food stuff. That always helps.
I don't know if it'll be the snacks you want, but we'll have some snacks.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Beggars can't be choosers, huh? We'll take what we can get. But again, thank you so much for coming on, and we are full supporters of you guys. If we can ever help you, if you need sponsors or anything like that, don't hesitate to ask. You guys are awesome, and we're grateful to have you. Man, I can't think of anything else. Anything I'm not getting?
Oh, we got a lot of stuff, but that may be for
we'll
another
catch it on the next
episode.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you again for always being so
appreciate it.
accessible and for what you guys do in the community. We've got one more guest, one more commercial break, and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, we are back with our final guest. We've got a new one on that we haven't had before. We are excited to talk to him. So without any further ado, young lady, if you wouldn't mind.
So I'm Carolyn Homan. I'm operations and online support at Crossroads Christian School. And we're here today because we have open house this coming Thursday. And so we're inviting everybody who's looking, or maybe you're not looking, you just want to see what options are out there in Victoria, to come and check us out, because we're the best of all the worlds.
I hear that, and it's not easy being the best of all the worlds.
It's
And so that's a hard title to achieve and maintain. So tell me about it. How did you earn this, and I just need all the nuts and bolts about Crossroads Christian School.
Well, for starters, Victoria, thank you so much for voting us the best high school 2 years in a row. We're actually en route to be it again this year. So best of the best. Thank you for shining some light on us. And we're voted that because we bring education to meet your child and your family where they're at. And so we offer online options, we offer face-to-face options, we offer blended options. We've got kids in India right now experiencing our school, and we don't just have one curriculum, we have several, because we believe we want to give you what really works for you. And so we work with 501, no, that's 501c3.
501c3.
504, I'm sorry. We work
Okay.
with special education and modifications. And so our school really works for any career path that you may have envisioned for your child. And so.
No, that's awesome. And so I'm coming into this from a place of pure ignorance. So what grades? Let's start there.
We go all the way from kinder to 12th grade.
Outstanding.
And sometimes we even get asked for a 13th year because kids just aren't ready to make that transition to college, and we can create that for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you guys have sports, or how does that all go?
We partner with local organizations that do that, because as a private school, we're actually considered a homeschool. So
Okay.
Cobra is a great organization that our kids have access to because they come to a private school. And so anything that's available to homeschool, which is really big in Victoria, is available to our students as well. We also have just partnered with Claire Santillana. She's the new art
Crossroads
president.
Art House and Victoria Art League.
She's
Yes, ma'am.
amazing.
She comes on
So-
the show all the time.
Well, she loves us. Like, her kids come here, but come to my school. But she does art classes after school, and so you get the best of her and the best of us.
That's pretty awesome. I took one of her art classes for a show, and I thought it was going to be a funny segment where I was going to get in with the kids and whatever. Well, her kids were really good, and they didn't warn me that like these kids knew all the primary colors and the secondary colors and the tertiary. And I was sitting over there like, I'm getting dusted by some little kids, really, really
By
bad.
elementary kids.
Yeah, they're smart, real smart.
Hey, I told you they go to our school, right?
Yeah,
Hey,
that's what they said, you know, and but they straight dusted me, it was so much fun, and it was one of those things where I was going to be funny on the show and make a funny little picture, and I ended up really trying because I had to, because those kids were super smart, and I was like, okay, there's a fine line of being funny and looking dumb.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
those kids were on point, and if I wasn't, I was gonna get in trouble. They still smoked me. I
was going to say, we have some openings if you want to come enroll.
You know, I may need some private classes beforehand because I figured out they were light years ahead of me. So, but she's an amazing teacher, and what I like is because you are a private school, it's right in the name, but it is a Christian school, so I'm guessing a Christian-based curriculum, and I like that.
The majority of our curriculum is Christian-based. We do have some other curriculum that's not, but we still pull in our Christian-based curriculum along with that. And all of our teachers are Christian, and so, yes, you get Christian in every aspect of our school. And what I really appreciate about our school is our flexibility. You know, because I do online support, I'm in constant communication with parents, and I hear all the time, like, oh my gosh, we just went through like several weeks of COVID, or, our family member was just in the hospital, and I can say, I love the fact that I can put your classes on hold, and then when you need to, you reinstitute them, and you don't get hit with late fees or late deductions. Like, we customize your education experience.
And that's something that's just unheard of in public schools, because there's so many, and a lot of times, and I won't fault them. It's the system that they're put in a lot of the times, and so I don't. They do the best they can, but if these private schools and sometimes a lot more customizable education. That's maybe I do need to enroll. My education is just a little behind the curve, but no, I like this side of things, and I like that you can be more personal with the students and really develop something for them in their life and what's going on currently, because that's one less stress off the table. And when people are struggling and there's just a lot of insecurities right now, and people don't know which way to go. And every day you turn on the national news and you see how students and schools they're falling behind in an entire year loss of education sometimes. Right. And so to have options and to be able to say, hey, look, let's take this stress off your back.
Yeah.
You worry about that, and then we'll be here and we'll formulate something for you. I think that's spectacular.
We hear all this all the time. We have kids come to our school and they're like, we're just ready to be done. We want out of high school. And so they do their last 2 years in one. Mm-hmm. Because of our curriculum, especially on the high school level, it's all at their pace. So they can get it done as fast or as slow as they want to get it done. I think we've had kids graduate with their welding certificates already. They could literally, they're in 11th grade and they could be working an adult job. They could stop.
That's spectacular. I did
really
half a day
is.
High school, half a day college,
Yeah.
and I had 2 days a week that I didn't have class, and I opened a little business during those 2 days.
Look at you.
And all of that. But that's great, because you have some that need the extra time, and then you have some that are just natural overachievers, and they blow through this and they're ready to go. And I would argue they need to spread their wings, and if they're ready, Why hold them back?
Exactly.
Why, if they're ready to hit the ground running, let them.
And we offer a gigantic, we actually partner with one of the largest CTE programs in the nation. I think it actually offers the largest online library. And so they can be exploring careers at the price of high school costs. They can start doing that in junior high. Because if you wait till college, right, like you know how expensive it is to start exploring your career options, but they can do that for like it's $50 or $150 a class. I take that back. It's $150 for the year. They can take as many of the CTEs as they want. And so, what's great is they get into it. They're 2 weeks and they're like, hey, like this isn't for me. Then we can say, good, you're out, and we can close that class, and they can move on to something else. And so it's a really great opportunity to explore your options at an affordable rate. We are one of the most competitive rated schools locally. And so you're getting a phenomenal education for a great price. And then two, as parents, you have complete control over what your child experiences. I was catching up on Facebook in some other state. They were going against the school board saying, these are the pictures that are being shown in our kids' class. It was sex education. And they wouldn't let him in. The pictures were so graphic. He goes, well, this is what's in their books. But you're not going to experience that at our school, because as a parent, you can say, hey, I don't agree with that class, and we'll say, good, we'll just close it, and you're done. We'll choose something else.
Awesome. And one of the things that you said that I like also is, like the welding and stuff. I like that the stigma is being removed of you have to go to college, and that's the only route.
Exactly.
And I'm not faulting people that choose to go to college, but I've got my degree that's hanging on the wall that I do absolutely nothing with.
Yep.
And I know plumbers and welders and electricians, and some of these guys, it's funny because people laugh at them, they give them a hard time, and they're like, oh, that guy went to go be a plumber. Well, that guy's making $95 an hour and has no debt, and and why we've made it okay to laugh at some of these people. That dude's doing great, and he will always be of value to somebody, and
he'll always have a job.
Yeah, absolutely, and he has a craft as well, and and so I think that's spectacular that you guys lay out options and say it's okay to pick a non-college route. If I look back now, and I got college because I felt I had to, because other people told me that, and it's just a certificate on my wall. And now some people, I know it is huge and they do need that, and I'm not minimizing it, but I love the options, and I think that's spectacular that you guys embrace that and give an individualized plan for a student. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. Well, we've been around for, we started in 2014. And so I actually came on with the school, with Crossroads Christian, right the August after COVID hit. And everybody's scrambling, right, to do virtual school. Well, Crossroads had already been doing it for several years. They were already pros. We're like, just come on.
Just keep going. We're already here.
Come hook up with us. We got you.
Well, how can they reach out? If they do they go to crossroadschristianvictoria.com?
It is a awesome website, and I can say that I was helped part of what made that happen.
There you go.
But yeah, you can click on our student tab. You can experience our online curriculum there. There's videos. You can connect to our Facebook there. And of course, you can come see us in person on Thursday from 5 to 6 at our open house.
Perfect way to plug that. I couldn't have done any better. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Anything else we're forgetting before I let you go? We just ran out of time.
No, I would say, hey, look out for us in April if you really want to get your fancy pants on. We're doing a second chance prom, April 30th. It's a Saturday. So come ready, dressed to impress, and experience a wonderful night.
Well, you impressed today, and if you would be so kind, we'd love to have you back on to talk about that event for April, and maybe we can get some prom redos and get it going. And so thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you support all these great groups, these great organizations, all these great people trying to make a change in our community. Back their play. Support them, appreciate them, thank them. We'll see you at the next one, guys. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for tuning in to Victoria Events with Caleb Shaw. Make sure you comment down below, like the post, share the post. It really helps the algorithms. If you haven't done so already, make sure you follow our page. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any episodes. And if you have an event coming on you want featured on Victoria Events, shoot us a message. We'd love to help you get the word out there. Lastly, make sure you support our sponsors. We could not do this show without them, so we're very grateful. Thanks so much, Victoria, and we'll see you at the next one.